Hey, welcome to this episode of The People in Our Neighborhood, brought to you by the East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce. My name is Cheryl Brass, and I'm joined by my friends and colleagues, Amy Papi and Chris Barnes. How are you doing, Amy?
I'm fine, thank you. This sounds like fun. Ready for you.
How are you, Chris?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Okay, sure. So I'll just kick this off and then we can converse. I'm so honored and grateful to be talking with you today. Let's talk about why we love living here. So I'll ask Amy, why did you decide to call East Brunswick your home?
Thank you, Cheryl. First, I would like to say thank you, Sean, for inviting me to participate in this podcast along with Cheryl and Chris. I'm excited to be doing this. Well, the reason why I there is an amazing view of a lake in my backyard. It's water from Farrington Lake and Raritan River. It's easy traveling access for our needs and so many other wonderful things. And that was a major reason for us to have moved to East Brunswick for the property that we now live in.
That's really neat. And Chris, what was the reason that you decided to live in East Brunswick,
Okay.
to work in East Brunswick?
It's all good. Full disclosure, I don't live in East Brunswick, but my whole career I work at East Brunswick Public Library. I'm the coordinator of communication, marketing, and outreach. So I've been working in libraries for quite some time. And a job opportunity came up, which is the one I currently have. East Brunswick Public Library has and always has had a really great reputation for being innovative, cutting edge, being a good place to work. It's always one of the top 3 or top 5 standalone municipal libraries in the state. So I I applied for the job. I went through several interviews and hoped for the best. And in the words of LeBron James, I was happy to take my talents to East Brunswick.
You know
Yeah.
what? I just want to chime in and say, you know what, Chris, you do an amazing job. I mean, the library gets so much publicity. You do so much for so many diversity of communities. I mean, I'm coming there Sunday for one. I just think the library has opened up their doors for anyone in New Brunswick that wants to um, have a creation there, meaning like a meeting or an event, or your talents are posted there on the in you know, and it's just you do a great job.
Thank you. But I mean, it's like, I know I'm biased because I work here, but it really is a great library. And we're lucky that we have a great community who loves the library. They support it. We have a extremely active Friends of the Library group. They do all kinds of fundraising projects. We have a library foundation who's active. And we also have a lot of support from the township council and the mayor's office. So, I mean, this is a community that when they say, oh, yeah, we love our library, everyone does their part to they show it. It's not just lip service that, oh, I go to the library sometimes. No, everyone is here, coming to every library program, using our services, having ideas for community programs like you were mentioning. Yeah, no, it's a really awesome community to work in.
And Cheryl, you got lots to say about what you all do.
Yeah, it's really, I love everybody's story. I too, I've been living in East Brunswick now for 16 years. It's an easy number to remember because we moved here when my oldest son was born. So we were at a time in our lives that we wanted to bring our roots to a community, originally being from New York, my husband and I, and living in Chicago through our graduate schooling and working there, coming to the East Coast and finding our home in central New Jersey seems serendipitous for so many reasons, not to mention the bustling art scene, the strong community bonds that we all have. And yes, getting to celebrate the library and all of our community events together. This is a community that enjoys each other's company and truly supports one another. Like you would hope all communities could be as lucky as we are to have these people and to be able to work together in this way. So certainly happy getting my kids getting a wonderful education here and having opportunities that will serve them well throughout their whole lives and maintain that strong connection.
You mentioned Central Jersey. I just want to really offer some information that I know about East Brunswick that I think not everyone knows. Like the one thing I I said before. It says, what makes community of East Brunswick stand out and special? Well, I would like to share the following for those that might not know this about East Brunswick. And I attended, along with many dignitaries, for a press conference designating the spot in East Brunswick the center of Central Jersey. I was excited and proud to be part of this. The center of New Jersey is East Brunswick, according to the Federal Business Census Bureau. It's a designation that the township has received for the second time. Okay, the Census Bureau every 10 years designates a place. I know this is lengthy, but I want to share the things that I want to say. Half of New Jersey residents live to the north and half to the south. The 2020 census determined the spot was in the intersection of Writers Lane and Milltown Road. A marker was placed by New Jersey Society of Professional Land Surveyors and, you're going to hear me now, East Brunswick Chamber of Commerce. Okay. Yay. I would like to quote comments made by East Brunswick Mayor Brett Cohen that day. He said, we're in the middle of it. Let me just say, I want to make sure I say his words correctly. He says, whether young, older, or with family in tow, folks already flock to East Brunswick because of the great schools, strong community, active arts, and entertainment, and almost 1,000 acres of parks, but also because of the centrally located proximity to the cities and really anywhere else you might want to go in New Jersey. And then the mayor continued, a plaque will also be on display at the Township Municipal Building. I have to tell you, I'm there all the time and I've never noticed it. Now I'm going to pay attention when I go there, all right? He says, we will be laying a plaque at this landmark to permanently highlight East Brunswick's place in the heart of our great state. Who also joined with him, and I'm almost done, who also joined with him and others was Assemblyman Sterling Stanley. He represents the 18th Legislative District, and he commented, this is something that I'm very well aware of, New Jersey has a little of everything. East Brunswick is right at the center of it all. He presented resolutions honoring East Brunswick designation on behalf of the entire legislators. So I think, to me, I don't know if you know, Chris, or you know, Cheryl, that existed, but I was present and I knew, and I realized that how come no one ever mentions it or says it? So I wanted to share it.
That's so nice, Amy. And it's so special that you were there and that we all can now look at that landmark through your lens. It's very nice. And
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah,
I'm gonna have to make a point to pay attention next time I'm driving and over
Yeah,
the township office.
right. Yeah, it's right across the street from that drugstore, and there's that parcel
Uh-huh.
right there, smack there in the center. We were all and we had it was so exciting. It was nice. Yeah.
and that really is emblematic of where we live. I feel like we have a strong North Star as a town, and we all agree to help each other. And I just came to mind those times of the outdoor markets that Chris and I and you, Amy, we've all been at and enjoyed all throughout the year. Whether it's an EB Day event or a library event or an orchestra event, we're all showing up for each other and making sure that we create that space for everybody to recognize the things that are happening in our community. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, from
So
my
it's
work in the library and partnering with like you with the orchestra and all the other different organizations in town, there's the old saying that high tides raise all ships. And
Yeah.
like I'd say in the nonprofit, like in partnership world and community groups, that certainly is true in this town because you have an idea for a program or an event. And before you know it, you have 6 or 7 other co-sponsors who want to get involved, and we're helping you with the logistics of it, for promoting of it, participating in it. And it's great because it really connects everyone in town.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I see the both of you constantly. I mean, you're always promoting the library, you're promoting your orchestra, and the things that you do for so many different groups and everything, you're always holding programs and everything. So I'm proud to say, wow, I love our library, and Cheryl, you've done amazing things, you know. So you're probably wondering, what does Amy do, right? So what I do is more or less, I'm a advocate, community outreach person, helping those that need information and resources. So my experience, this is how it all played out, was that I was a former chief of staff for the Assembly and Senate and legislators and other positions have that I currently have now offers me the connections, the contacts, okay? And that allows me to help people. And no matter what it is, I have that ability to call someone and I get, the opportunity to help. So if the question may be, what's the successful outcome? How does it make me feel? Well, it makes me feel happy if what I did for that person or the group or organization or with for whomever, is a success story. It makes me happy, and that's the joy that I receive. And
You
that's
do
what I
very
do.
well at
Just
that.
work for people, I guess you could say.
Yeah. No, you're an excellent resource and person that we rely on in the community to make these connections and to help foster that collaborative environment that is really indicative of with what East Brunswick has to offer. So and I feel that we do this very well, especially using the chamber as our hub. And so we're all able to make these connections, and we use the time that we have during our breakfasts and events to cultivate those relationships and become friends and business colleagues and partners in uplifting our community together. And just forever grateful and so honored to be part of this community. And we have fun while we're doing it, don't we?
Absolutely, because, talking about connections is that I took on one of those snack and learns, and I had invited the State of New Jersey Commissioner of Labor and Workforce, and it was really a very informative, interesting program, and that was exciting. And then following that one, we had one for our county clerk, Elaine Flynn, who's also a EBRCC member, and she's the county clerk. And she came in, and you think they only do certain things, like maybe preside over weddings or a thing, but there's so much more that they do. And she highlighted everything. And those that were in attendance actually said, "Wow, I didn't know that." Really? And then they took it home and they put it to use. So, and there's so many more people that can be involved. And this is what the East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce offers for those that want to know and learn. So, I think they're very, what can I say? When I became a member of the East Brunswick Regional Chamber, I didn't even know they existed. You get to meet so many, wonderful business people. You become friends. You share things that you didn't know you could share with so many others. So I think it's a very informative and important organization to be part of, I think, anyway.
No, yeah, no, definitely. Like in my situation as a member of the Chamber of Commerce, we're the only public library in town, so it's not like we have a a direct competitor. And it's also we're not trying, at least for on myself when I go to the meetings, it's not there. I'm trying to sell you a product or a service, and I'm not there competing. It's like, oh, but what like, it's valuable for us is there are so many businesses and organizations in town, and it really helps us because one of the big things libraries do, we're not just books and ebooks. We do public programming all the time. So we've connected with a ton of financial and medical professionals, so we can bring in an expert to talk about a topic. So for us, it's a great way for Pika to find speakers and events. So and we're always happy to do it, and it's a great way to make connections out in the community.
So, I just wanted to ask you guys this question because I think it's a good one. How does the public and government nonprofit organizations collaborate with one another to create a stronger community?
I mean, the inevitability of having us all work together and meet every month is that we're fostering these relationships. And the chamber is really making a conscious effort to make people feel welcome at our breakfast events and throughout the year, and to do that and reach people who are feel different ways on the spectrum of networking. Maybe some people tend to be more introverted and some people tend to be more extroverted, but creating space and making people feel welcome at whatever point they wish to enter really fosters these collaborations. And then having the chamber, sponsor good community events like the East Brunswick Day with the Recreation Department, which is a government wing, right? And we have several arts nonprofits thriving in East Brunswick. We have the library, which is a real beacon of solidarity in the East Brunswick community because of the programs and because of the outreach. That it's very common to not just have one or two collaborators, but a lot through events. And this is also with the education partners of our public schools and having our early childhood education centers be members as well. So the cross-sector partnerships really flourish. And that's what makes the strong community. So it's an excellent question and a real source of pride, I think.
Think supporting one another in whatever the needs might be, working together, ensuring that we are there for one another. That to me, communication and supporting one another, no matter who we are, what we are, we're all one in the same, and we should all be respectful and kind. And I think that the chamber brings that to everyone that is a member. And I think they get excited when they get to meet someone else that's doing something different than them. They wanna know, "What is it and what you do?" And you likewise wanna do the same. We at our meetings that Cheryl's been mentioning is that we also do icebreakers, and that's another way of getting to know one another, and, you're you're the people that you know, that you think you know, it just builds on others that you can get to know, and that's what's helped me as a member is the various different personalities and people, and knowing that we can all come together, support one another. And I think that's the most important thing in life. I feel to be
And
happy.
no, no, and not trying to be a shill and to give the hard sell, but when the chamber has the ticketed events, whether it's the gala, some of the other events, it's a great way to meet people because if you're at a table with someone who you've never met before and you're going to be there for a good 2 hours together, you wind up learning so much in a casual setting. Like Crystal, the president, I think it was at one of the events. I had no idea who she was.
Yeah.
I was sat next to her, and before you know it, I talked her whole ear off the whole time, and I completely gave her the Forrest Gump treatment. But to this day, like I know so much more about her, and I'd like to think the same about me. And so that's how you meet people, and it's a great way to network. You've common interests and stuff. So it's not again not always that like you said. It's not always like oh well I'm looking for someone who is a plumbing engineering expert. And that's how you make a contact. But you make someone, oh, well, this person isn't in an industry that I'm in, or, our professions don't necessarily vibe. But I've now made a contact. I can say, hey, Cheryl, do you know a plumbing engineer?
Yes,
Right.
exactly. That's true. Yeah.
Right. It's nice. So, I know we all have the commonality of being super volunteers. We volunteer for committees within the East Brunswick Chamber of Commerce. It might be executive board members or board members at one point. Chris, I'll throw it to you first. What is your experience volunteering and the different committees, and what was it that you did when you were volunteering on them?
Let's see. I've been on the board of directors since I'd like to say 2019. So I kind of turned into a lifer. I've done that. I've been a member of the events committee. It feels like forever. I was also on the charity committee in some iteration years ago. I mean, I think that's one of the good things to point out for some of the members, and a lot of it understand that everyone has different budgets. If you're part of a large business or corporation, you have money that you can use for sponsorships to support the chamber. But as a public library, that's not that's not necessarily what our budget's there for. So you can be an active member by just donating your time and volunteering and helping run the organization. Because we talk about all these great events that we do, and it takes a lot of work. So
Some of my volunteerism things that I have. I'll start out first of all that I am licensed in the New Jersey licensed producer. I'm a producer for the Health Casualty and Personal Property. I'm vice chair of the East Brunswick Democratic Organization. I'm a Middlesex County committee. I chaired the Women's Health Institute Advocacy and Community Outreach. I co-chaired the New Jersey One Health Steering Committee. All from Rutgers Robert Johnson Medical School. I am I have Robert Wood. I'm going to not remember everything, but I am the Rutgers Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital first president of the auxiliary. I am co-chair of underage drinking for the Wellness Center for Prevention. I'm secretary for the East Brunswick Zoning Board. East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. I have been on the events committee. On the membership committee, and currently now we're having a very exciting event happening for the chamber, and that's the golf outing on April 27th at Fords Gate. I was able to secure a $10,000 cruise to anywhere in a hole-in-one. I was able to secure a hole-in-one car from Maloof. And my favorite one so far, too, is that I was able to have the platinum sponsorship. So everyone's working very hard on this event. We are putting our heart and soul into it. I hope that people do participate. And if you don't golf, because I don't, you please come out and have lunch. We're having a networking lunch. There are going to be prizes, 50-50, baskets. It's geared for everyone to enjoy. You don't have to golf. Just come and have fun. And that's on April 27th. And that's one of my current what you could say activity for the East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce that I'm doing.
Thank you so much for that. I was honored to be a past recipient of the Chamber's charity as the East Brunswick Symphony Orchestra, the East Brunswick Education Foundation, and Aldersgate Outreach Center all received a donation last year. And we're just so grateful. And it's because of the work that you do securing these sponsorships that really impact our nonprofit sector as well. So when people think of Region Chamber of Commerce, they might not know just how much it's benefiting our nonprofits and our nonprofit government and our libraries as well. And these are programs that are low cost or are at the library free to the public and hugely important for a healthy society, promoting well-being and really just strengthening our connectivity. So I wanted to share, we have a relatively new committee to the Chamber, our Sunshine Committee. It's in its second year, and I have the honor of serving on that. If you receive a birthday card or an anniversary card, but one of the things that would be from us mailing them on behalf of our chamber. And what we want to let people know is if there's something special in your life that you would like to share with us, maybe a wedding or a birth, please do let us know, because good news is meant to be shared, and we work together and we support each other, and we would really like to celebrate the personal milestones of our chamber members. The anniversaries are business anniversaries, of which the East Brunswick Symphony Orchestra is 2 years old on Saturday.
Ah,
happy birthday.
Thank you.
yeah. And just to say also, I know I'm not one of, you probably have a better interaction with the chamber, but myself, I have with Vic. I think she's doing an amazing job. She's keeping us informed. She shares a lot of good news that we may not know or is happening, and she makes it happen. I just think that all in all, your chamber organization, if you will, okay, they're working well and they're doing a good job, and they're promoting and trying to bring in as many members as possible. So I would like to just be sure today, as I'm on this podcast, to know that the chamber is a good thing, that the chamber does bring people together, and that you, like Cheryl was saying, you do even give out to charitable good. We're always doing something good for charitable giving. So I think it's just a win-win organization. And I'm going to say, yeah.
All right. Well, I've certainly enjoyed catching up with you two online and learning about your perspectives on why you've enjoyed being a chamber member. And again, if anybody is listening or watching this and you're not a member, you can check us out on our website at ebrcc.org.
Thank you, Chris. It's such a pleasure to talk to you and Amy about our shared experiences in the chamber and just the overall enjoyment of what it's like to live and work in the East Brunswick community. So we really appreciate everything that you do, both for the chamber and for the community and for quality of life here in the town that we love.
And likewise, I think that, Cheryl and Chris have been great friends, have been great contributors to everything that goes on in this community. I mean, they work very hard. I can't even say it that you both do an amazing job at what you
Well,
do.
thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you,
you
Amy.
do. And I just want to say thank you
So do
again
you.
for Sean for giving us the opportunity to do this and express ourselves in a way that, it's so natural. And I enjoyed it and I loved being with both of you. So thank you so much for this opportunity. It was fun.
Yeah, really fun. Thanks.